Good sportsmanship. And let's get this thing started. 4-0 Blocky versus 2-2 Skimbo. Let's get it on.
It's going to be interesting here, Scott. We know Skimbo has prepared a lot for Blocky, especially leading up to that club championship. And after the way that game went, where Skimbo was pretty much able to win by 2 scores, a 24-10 game, I wonder what Blocky did to adjust his game to get ready for Skim, assuming that he might have to see him again later on in Ultimate League.
Well, it was Skimbo who came out against that aggressive defense. We'll talk about that when Skimbo gets the ball and sort of dismantled Blocky's aggressive defensive line. But he's got the ball first. Mariota in the pocket. And why not? Drag the feet at the 39. First down, Blocky.
You know Blocky. He went back and watched the Skimbo game, talking with him over 3 to 4 times. Is what he says, so you know he saw some things that he could have done better. He's a very smart player. I expect this game to be a lot more competitive than the first one we saw at the club championship.
To put that in perspective, Michael Skimbo's probably watched that game 30 to 40 times. Whole different level of preparation. Has a wide open Westbrook in the shadows. It's a shadowy game. Down to the 31.
And a lot of players don't like that when you play in the field that has the shadow and then some of the sunlight. They feel like it can mess up their vision. A lot of players prefer to play in closed domes or night games.
I would say all players. Yeah. Not most. Yeah, I would say all. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you can't speak for everyone. But yeah, I agree. It's definitely got to be the majority. It's a little distracting.
Mariota finds Henry.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
That'll make it a 3rd and 7 at the 28. It's in field goal range.
Skimbo knows this is big right here. This is where his defense starts to thrive. He's a bend but don't break type player.
Grant's got some space and he's got the first down in the red zone.
I feel like every time we're watching Blocky on offense, we're just watching him make good decisions with the ball. Thinking back throughout the season, it's very, I can't think back to a specific play where it was like, oh, Blocky looked bad on that play.
And he's completing about 80% of his passes for the season. He's had games where he's gone about 15 of 17.
That's
big time
ridiculous.
Games. Yeah.
That's ridiculous, Scott. Going up against guys that lurk this well.
He's done a nice job dinking and dunking, and you know, even if it's a corner strike play out of the bunch, he doesn't just blindly throw that corner out.
No, he's making strong reads, and might be a quiet young man, but he lets his game do the talking. His game's talking.
2nd and 11 now. He'll flip the bunch. That'll mess up the adjustments, and that's why you see a lot of these flips. You're like, why are they doing that? Well, that messes up the defensive adjustments. They're setting up for the bunch to be on one side, and next thing you know, you flip it, and they got to counteract that. So you'll see players like G.O.A.T, players like Blocky really like to flip that bunch.
Yeah, exactly. So you see the bunch on the right side. You might take your strong safety on that side and move them down. But then once they flip that play, now you got to get your free safety down there and your strong safety back to a deep assignment.
And Westbrook shakes away from 1, and now he's inside the 10 all the way down to the 5.
Blocky just making it look easy right now.
And it's been like that all season. That's been the recipe for success. Just dinks and dunks. And you know you got a strong defense. So no reason to take a lot of risk on offense. Just keep moving the ball. 1st and goal from the 5. I formation. Twins to the left. Stretch it out to Henry. He'll be down at the 2-yard line.
Remember, both of these players run the same playbook, Scott. They're both in that West Coast offensive playbook. Similar game styles, very familiar with each other, but the thing you know about this West Coast is unless you get pressure, it's going to be hard to stop.
Same formation. Needs 2 yards now. Stretches it.
Nice play.
No big hit by Larry Wilson. We talked about him being one of the key players off the stop.
Come on.
How about all the different run formations we've seen people in this West Coast playbook. We've seen some near, far, some strong, close. Blocky was in some I-twin. A lot of little sneaky running formations out of this playbook as well.
3rd and goal. Got to be very careful here. This is where Skimbo can get in on alert, get a big INT if you try to force it in. And there's a sack. It'll be a 31-yard field goal.
That's big pressure right there by Skim. I'm telling you, when you talk to these players and you say, hey, because a lot of them run the West Coast, so you're like, hey, what's it like playing against that playbook? And they said, hey, you know, I feel comfortable because I know what's coming, but I also know you can't stop it unless you get pressure on that quarterback because someone's going to be open. Skimbo gets some pressure right there on the big 3rd down, holds Blocky to the field goal. It's good bend, but don't break defense.
Well, he takes up 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
Here's the deliverance, Scott. If you're Blocky, you got to kick this normally, I think. No need the pooch kick here.
He's going to kick it deep.
And Blocky's had a good kicking game all season long, both on kickoffs, but mainly on punts. He's had some very impressive punts.
Well, Blocky has been using that offense as almost a good defense. You take up over 3 minutes of the clock in the opening drive. All of a sudden, Skimbo's only got 1/3 of 49 here left in the first time touching the football.
It's going to be interesting to see here how Skimbo deals with Blocky's pressure. Blocky he'll stay on that aggressive pass rush and let you draw his defense offside because they're so aggressive. They're ready to get after the quarterback, release on that snap. And he's willing to give up some offsides during the game in order to get that extra pressure.
Actually has the most penalty yardage in the league, and it's because of that aggressive pass rush. And you're going to watch a lot of times Skimbo's going to come to the line in a pistol formation, which the way the tight ends line up, he believes gives an opportunity for that aggressive line to jump, and then he'll get into that bunch formation. Yeah. 2nd and 8.
What it is you see how when he's in bunch, the tight end's off the line, not in a 3-point stance. So the way the animations work, it's harder for the end to match an animation when he's like that on the fake snap. But in the pistol, he's in that stance that makes it head on with the defense. And see it right there, I was in a 3-point stance. That makes it easier for that animation to match.
You talk about number 82 there on the right side of your screen. That's Delaney Walker.
And I know you're getting in the weeds right there, but at the end of the day, it's a football video game. So you need to explore those type of things. You need to research those kind of things. And at the end of the day, you got to practice and do research to gain what advantages you can. Skimbo's a master at that.
Yeah, it's less about getting in the weeds of the ins and outs of John Madden football, and it's more about talking about the preparation of Michael Skimbo. Well, Prodigy, wow, we got a pick.
Interception.
We got a pick on the right side. They're setting up a red zone for Prodigy.
You were talking about not blindly throwing that corner route, Scott, and Skim makes that mistake with Blocky's pressure coming through.
And Prodigy and Spot Me Please, they have exchanged interceptions in the first quarter, and now Prodigy's all the way down to the 3, while Blocky with a huge interception. Let's see if Prodigy can punch it in here. Final play of the quarter.
This is a big game between Prodigy and Spot, too. We spent a lot talking about Blocky and Skim, but Spot Me with that terrible record right now.
He's in the toughest division of the Elite Conference.
He's out.
Maybe of the entire league.
You got Spot at 1-3, and Prodigy's at 2-2. So Spot Me knows he needs to win that game in order to have an even record with Prodigy. And more importantly,
the tiebreaker.
That would give him the tiebreaker in head-to-head because they're in different divisions. And Spot Me's well aware of that going into that game. So speaking with him this morning, he's highly motivated for that one over there.
Excellent point, RG. Here's a 3rd and 21.
Oh, what have you gotten yourself into, Blocky?
Back-to-back sacks.
Skim's got to get off the field right here. This would be demoralizing. Give this up to Blocky.
Got to watch the smart route at the chains, and there's another sack. This time it's Brown in there again. That's going to bring up a 4th and 25 when we start the second quarter between Blocky and Skimbo. Well, here it's been stingy. Stingy type of John Madden football. 3-0 between Blocky and Skim, and then Prodigy and Spot Me Please. 0-0, but Prodigy's down there knocking on the door. Start of the second quarter here between Prodigy, who represents that Team Noble, big esports team, and then Spot Me Please. He's part of Team Versus, but right now it's 0-0, but Prodigy's deep in the red zone. They've traded picks in the first quarter, and on Prodigy's second drive here, he's been able to get all the way down to the 3. It's 1st and goal. Here comes an I formation.
My big, this is old school, Scott. It's a grown man formation right here.
Double tight end. Jones is solo to the right.
Personnel.
Goes to Henry. And he'll get in there. Touchdown, Prodigy.
That's old school. You bring out the 2 tight ends and a fullback, line up in that I big. Just run a dive, my guys versus your guys, and let me just punch it in.
7 plays, 43 yards, and Prodigy cracks the scoreboard first.
You spot me on 1st down, you see that I big, you almost have to run commit.
At least have some way to get down into a bigger front.
Yeah, get the Grizzlies out there. Maybe.
Good blocking up front as well. It's hard. Wouldn't matter what formation he came out.
Looked like on the replay that he might have run committed, just wasn't enough.
You're going up against a full line, and then you get the fullback coming through there too. That's tough to stop. Spot Me's only got 1 yard of offense. Hands it to McKinnon. He's now got 2 carries for 8 yards. A pick and multiple sacks allowed by Spot Me. Rough first quarter.
You got to think he'll get it together here. Taylor Robertson, the family man.
Trips tight end, and he finds Ingram to the 48.
As I was saying, the family man, the credit analyst from Ballard, West Virginia. He's here. He does not like where he currently stands in the standings, and he plans to start turning that around in this game versus Prodigy.
3rd and 1, Mariota. He might scramble for the first, he will. And he'll get out of bounds. Throw the flag.
Yeah, you just don't see, and that's different thing in MUT. It's when you're playing competitive Madden, there's just certain penalties that you're not going to see. A lot of random type penalties.
Yeah.
With unnecessary a late hit on the quarterback, there's no
judgment
limited.
calls.
There's no injuries.
No judgment calls. You talk about the pass interferences, things like
holding. The only way you see those is if you have your coaching adjustments on some type of aggressive. And that's, you know, one thing that's different. It's a football video game, and some things are going to be different, and penalties is one of them. That random, some of those random penalties just don't exist.
Little state of inception here. He's got the Mariota jersey on, big Titans fan, rocking the Titans in game. Mariota's his quarterback. Something's got to work out for him.
And the players like that. We've played Maddens before where, you know, you break a big run and you get holding for some reason way in the back, and it had nothing to do with it. And when you're playing competitive gaming, that's just not the type of thing.
That was a decade ago to RG.
You want to deal with.
You got to let that play go. I know you got called for holding on a long run back, cost you the game.
That happened.
You got to let it go, man.
It happened to me on the big stage before.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Nah, I've letting it go, but it's cool that, you know, we're now at a point too where you don't have to deal with some of that randomness.
That's right. Double box. Skimbo. And drags the toes at the 2-yard line. Got double red zone here. Skimbo's 1st and goal at the 2. Spot Me's got a 3rd and 6 at the 19, trailing by a touchdown. That's going to be a sack. That's going to set up a field goal for Spot Me. See if Skimbo can punch it in.
Skimming this near.
It's called the near formation because that you got the tight end, and as we watch this kick go up and good from Spot Me. That backed him up.
Yeah, he got the false start is what I was trying to say. There's that draw.
Charles will go nowhere. The weakest part of his offense is the running game, and it doesn't help having Jamal Charles.
Yeah, that Jamal Charles is, besides young Kiv, I don't think anyone's tanked their running back more than Skimbo.
2nd and goal at the 7.
78 overall core gold, 26 cat. Jamal Charles.
Got to run. Wentz, nope, won't get away. And Lawrence Taylor, maybe the greatest defensive player of all time, comes up with the sack.
That's a beast. And no wonder Blocky's been getting all kinds of pressure. You got Lawrence Taylor on your D-line. What do you expect? With that 3-3-5 aggressive mixed in, jeez. Now that false start might have been big on Skim here. Remember, he was on the 2-yard line. Oh.
Knowing if he could have got him off sides, that would have put him half the distance to the goal and maybe could have just snuck it in from there, but now he's going to have to settle for a 29-yard field goal.
That low throw.
And it's up, it's good. Trust me, you didn't need to see it. It was an easy one. It was a layup.
Those corner strike plays and the motion corner route with the low throw, I mean, you get a lot of success with those. They're very efficient, but they're also some of the routes we've seen thrown into traffic and get picked off more than any other route.
So 3-3 now between Blocky and Skim. It's a rematch from the club championship in Orlando. These guys were both in the AFC side of things. They're in the same division. And there's Brandon Cooks. Mariota 7 of 9. It's just steady as she goes for Blocky.
Yeah, every time he's on screen, he's doing a lot of this, stepping up in the pocket, letting it rip, finding guys that are open. He can roll out too. He's been very good at just protecting his quarterback, getting him space and giving him room to work, throw the ball downfield.
You know, we talked about that backfield that, you know, Skim has without the beast running back. Well, how about Mariota and Henry? That's the 2014 and 15 Heisman winners in the backfield. Some youngsters making plays for Blocky. 8 of 10 now, 80%. We told you, coming in, passing the ball at a high percentile, continues to do so here against Skimbo in a 3-3 game. Needs to get past the 30, and it's a committee meeting at the quarterback, and that's going to make it a 3rd and 16.
There's this pressure. Look at that. 3 players getting sheds, getting after Blocky's quarterback. That's what Skip needs. And this is a big game for Blocky, but it's a huge game for Skimbo. We're trying to turn his season around. And Blocky, his first loss. This is a guy you've prepared a lot for.
You can already tell, though, Blocky's made some significant adjustments since their last meeting. That's time in the pocket. Of course, and I think some of that, RG, is him joining the Top Madden group, topmadden.com, that now he's got a crew that he can share all this information with. And really, those guys from Top Madden have had some success against Skimbo, especially going back to Problem, who really boxed up Skim.
I think if you're Top Madden, you're happy to get a guy.
I can't call timeout.
Like Abbott Lopez.
Started his meter, so I can't call timeout.
Oh, Skim's mad. Skim, Blocky started the kick meter, and you can't call a timeout once your opponent starts that meter. So Skim, frustrated that he couldn't call a timeout there and save himself some extra seconds.
Well, we've seen 3 field goals thus far here in the first half, and Blocky has a 3-point lead with 55 seconds remaining in the half, but Skimbo has 3 timeouts. He's going to bring it out of his own end zone. This is Renfro. Spin move.
And you talk about Blocky, you know, going to topmadden.com, and hopefully that may be helping his game. For his lab partners, too, he's got other guys outside of Top Madden. We asked him who are his main guys. He said Figgy, who's the Eagles Club champion, Manu, who is the Panthers Club champion, and Prodigy, Noble Prodigy, who's over there in the other seat playing Spot Me Please.
He's rocking it right now, but he throws a
Spot Me! Oh, you better not spot him any points.
There's Jabril Peppers. Can he outrun Henry?
This is close. He's on his horse.
Oh, and Henry cuts him down at the 19. But a big-time interception, taking points off the board for Prodigy, and now he's got an opportunity to take the lead right before the half.
What a tackle. They put the tripwire down on Henry. Dive life on the line. Give me your shoelace. Save the pick six.
Yeah, Henry's 6'3" with that wingspan, able just to click his heels together.
31 seconds. Not much time for Spot Me. He only has the one timeout.
Ball at the 19, 1st and 10. Mariota can't take a sack. Finds Ingram, who gets...
It's ticking. Timeout.
He's going to use a timeout there.
It's a huge interception for Spot Me. You're in the Ultimate League. You're 1-3.
At the very least, you got to get 3 here, RG. Can't do anything stupid. Throws it to the corner. Ingram laid out and got a touchdown.
That wasn't stupid. That was Dottie. That was nasty.
Maybe the catch of the season thus far. Toe drag swag for this touchdown for Spot Me. And that's a 14-point swing. Prodigy was going down to take a 2-possession lead, and Spot Me comes roaring back to take the lead before the half. Wow.
Yeah, if you're Prodigy, that's one of the things on that. If you want to lose John Madden football games list, that's right there at the top, where you're going to get yourself points before the end of the half, and you somehow allow that situation to turn into points for your opponent. Oh, it's devastating.
Look at this again. This is unbelievable. Just stretches out right at the pylon.
And we say Spot's the best at throwing the guys open.
Wow.
How about the faith in Ingram? And he's using a pass lead mechanic right there. When you throw your passes in Madden, don't just press the button down. You aim that left stick in the direction you want to lead the receiver to, and you let it rip. Spot Me held it down into the outside right there, away from the defender. Big catch.
Just like that, Prodigy's already down to the 36.
Well, Prodigy, huh? We get some of these points back we were talking about before the end of the half.
I'm running the football right here. Nope, goes play action. Looked like he could have taken off with Deshaun. He must know it's kicker's range. He must feel confident. They're at the 36. I believe he's got Matt Prater. He's also got a Justin Tucker as well.
Prater's got a boot.
He's got the 88 Prater.
Gonna run it.
Hands it off. Gets a first down.
Oh, we go
Gotta go
down.
timeout.
Oh, 6 seconds off the clock. He needed to go down.
You gotta lay down. Once you get into the field goal range, you gotta lay down. A key mistake. And we got both of our games here at the half. Wow, Prodigy back-to-back huge mistakes. He throws the big pick, and then he can't get down to tie the game before the half. So Spot Me with a 10-7 lead over Prodigy. Blocky and Skimbo in a field goal fest. Blocky by 3. Time for the start of the third quarter between Blocky and Skim. Just a 3-point game. Neither able to crack that end zone thus far, RG.
Yeah, it's a grinded out game, huh? You're thinking Blocky, Skim, you're thinking there's going to be all kinds of excitement back and forth, back and forth. But they're just over there in a dogfight.
Yeah, it's the 2 best defenses in the conference, hands down. And that's what you get. Yeah. Either wanting to make a mistake. We've had a couple picks, but no one's been able to break the plane. So here we go. Skim will get it first to start the half. Can he put a drive together?
I was going to question you on the 2 best defenses, but looking at the conferences, I think you're right. They got to be Blocky known for, having top-level defense, and Skim. You heard it from Ghost earlier in the season in their interview. He said, hey, he's got the best defense. Skim really has always been an underrated defensive player, but he's been getting a lot of credit for it this year.
And I'm not saying the best defensive users, but I am saying that Skimbo prepares, knows exactly wants to do, maybe makes the most pre-snaps adjustments on defense.
See Blocky using those quick adjustments right there. That allows them to hot route different defenders on the field without having to manually switch to them. That's a real high-level pre-play mechanic in competitive Madden.
Especially, there's this chemistry called identifier, and so you can see who the defensive user is of your opponent. So if you're doing it old school and you're switching around, you're moving around the line, they'll catch you down there on a D lineman and quick snap you and take your user away.
Yeah, exactly. Quick snapping and catching users on their D linemen has been such a big part of competitive Madden because it takes away their lurking ability. And if you master the quick adjustments, you never put yourself in that situation. And Skimbo threads the needle to Devin Hester. We talked about him at the top, Scott.
He has 106 yards passing, 1 yard rushing.
And Blocky was right there with his user defender, just couldn't get enough depth.
Ball at the 39 now, 1st and 10. Carson has time and just goes to Ocho, made a man miss. And now he's in field goal range.
The intensity of both these players right now, Scott. This is big time Madden football.
2nd and 4. Bunch to the right. Full motion. Wentz, clean pocket. Makes a throw! Oh, wow, and he dropped it.
Dropped it. Oh, he dropped
That's
it.
what I said. He dropped it.
Well, Devin Hester not known for having the best catch in traffic. That's not his specialty. And a lot of defenders around him right there. And Blocky, again, just right underneath that route, almost intercepted it.
Prodigy's down in the red zone on your left side in a 3-point game. Seems like he spent the majority of the game down there. RG's just made some mistakes in the red zone.
I'll tell you what, if young Michael Scott could find a way to win that game against Spot Me after the way he ended that first half with the interception and the poor clock management to not get his field goal, would be very impressive.
Skimbo trying to tie it here on the right side of your screen. And it's 6-6.
Oh, well, that's huge. That's how he got his only field goal, by having 6-mile-per-hour wind, 2 in the second.
That was Greg the leg. Who kicked it through for Skim, and now Prodigy on a 3rd and 2. Trying to take the lead. Wallace in motion. Goes with a dive and a nice shed. Henry still fighting, and he's going to be just shy. Wow.
Prodigy going to take his 3 and tie this ball game.
Double go Titans go, and he kicks it through 10-10. Henry, I thought he was going to get it, RG. Trying to fight off 3 defenders. This has been a good one. We got 2 tie games.
There's good ball games all over the place.
It's going to be a fun day of John Madden football.
Well, getting to the later part of the season, guys are starting to run the numbers, start painting that playoff picture. And you know, you're okay when you lose a week 1 game. You think there's plenty of time. Once you're in week 5, week 6, you know time is not on your side and you have minimal room for error for a lot of these players.
Especially you only played cross division once, so you need to get these tiebreakers in.
Yes, that's a good point.
2nd and 9 now.
Because it's 2 divisions of 4 in this elite side. However, it's the top 6 players from both. The bottom 2 players can come from that same.
Yeah, you could have all 4 guys in a division make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Prodigy in Elite A won 22,000. It's his rookie season. Spotty's in his 3rd season. He's won 11,000 this year, but he's won 80,000 over the last 3 seasons. You talked about it before with Spot Me Please. He's a family man. He asked his wife, just let me go try this. Let me see if I'm good enough at this Madden football. Well, he came home with a belt and $35,000. And she said, I'm all in. I'm all in on this Madden football.
The first year.
You find Ingram. Well, that was the point where he was really ready to give up. You talked about in 16. I mean, he made it to the final 8, got beat by Problem. But it came down to a point, he's like, just let me go one more time. Let me see if I can do this one more time. And she's like, okay. Put the faith in her man, and he came through big with a belt and 35 grand.
Well, last year, just playing John Madden football alone, on top, the 35 grand was a big chunk of it, but you look at the numbers.
Had a huge Madden 17.
He made 70 grand last year playing Madden on the side. And so, you know, he's a credit analyst. And I bet Mr. Spotney's glad she gave him the chance to go pursue. You know, he's not only pursuing his dreams, filling his desire to compete, and he's also bringing home some extra bacon.
And I'm not saying that's a unique story, because it's not. All these players, whether it's a mom or a significant other, there's someone in the background that we don't say enough that's encouraging these guys to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, absolutely.
9-6 now, Blocky. Boy, it's just field goals all over the place.
Skimming a tough one over there with Blocky. Games are nuts. And it gets tough, Scott, because you get your support system, your family, your friends from back home, and they always look at you as the best. You're the Madden guy to them, right?
Yeah.
They don't realize that you're coming out here and rumping with the wolves. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here when you get up there with these guys. And sometimes you go back to them and you didn't succeed the way you wanted to. And it hurts to let them down and whatnot. But at the end of the day, they're always happy for you because they know you're doing what you love and what you're passionate about. Like you said, that support is big. And
delay, McKinnon! Upended at the 3.
I'll finish it off by saying, if you're one of those people that supports, you know, someone that's chasing their dream, these Madden players, Skip's going nuts over there. Oh, man.
That's the end of the 3rd. I think where you're going with that is we personally want to thank you. Thank you for sharing these players with us and making our dreams come true up here. Let's see what's going on.
That's why you do it there. Let's go.
As Skimbo just got a huge score on Blocky. We'll get you the replay there, but wow, it's now 13-9. We don't want to miss this kickoff here at the end of the 3rd, but we'll show you what happened as Skimbo finally able to break the end zone.
Yeah, we're going. I'm over here going into story time. Skim just starts spazzing over there on the screen.
Look at this bomb.
He's yelling, "Finish him!" And it's because he had the bomb to Tyreek. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Claremore, Oklahoma, stand up.
Final play of the quarter. Blocky trailing for the first time in this one, and we're headed to the 4th.
You know you like that, RG. That was sticky.
Skip talking to us up here, and we're headed to the 4th. 2 incredible games, 10-10 between Prodigy and Spot Me, and Skimbo and Blocky are in a slugfest. Start of the 4th quarter, if you remember, Spot Me got all the way down to the 3-yard line on a draw play to McKinnon. And that's how we're going to start this 4th quarter. Get ready, RG. We might be going back and forth in this last 5 minutes with 2 good games going on at the same time.
Got big games all around. Spot Me, please, at 1-3. Prodigy at 2-2. This game will determine who owns the tiebreaker out of these 2 players.
Pitch play, cuts it back, McKinnon fighting to the 2. And Prodigy's a player that you gotta cover up. He's looking for a strip when he gets a chance.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard though against Spot Me. He stays on that conservative.
Great point.
Look at that. There's that patented spot me controller that finally a spot me controller sighting. A little baby Xbox remote.
Fisher Price, my first controller, but it's led to a lot of W's.
So led to what we say, 70 grand last year?
Boy, it looked like he was in there. They're going to mark him down at the 1. Looked like McKinnon was on top of Wilson.
This is big.
They're going to say his knee was down before he broke the plane, though.
Let's go on record, too. I do have that same controller spot me does. It's fantastic.
Hey, you got to do research.
It's fantastic.
And I appreciate it. I commend that research.
I had to check it out. The dude was just winning games with it. I got to try something.
You got the Dreeny bandana, you got the spot me small controller, and he hands it off to the tight end who's lined up at fullback. How big has Ingram been? That's the second touchdown of the day.
Yeah, and he's just doing it everywhere. You can line him up at fullback, put him at tight end, you can get him at wide receiver. A lot of versatility. And an Evan Ingram type player. Spot me using all of it.
So 17-10. Maybe the Giants will pay attention to how these Madden players use a player like Ingram.
You'll see that sometimes where you see some scum Madden strategy, and then before you know it,
J.J. Watt's catching touchdowns.
You see it happen all the time, I'm telling you. Especially some of those players.
Let's fly over. Blocky's got it down at the 29. Here with just over 3 minutes to go in the 4th. These games are flying by. Big drive, trailing by 4. Field goal won't help. Throws a corner out, and there is Cooks all the way down at the 6. Malcolm Butler couldn't break on it.
Blocky just responding right back at Mike Skim. He's up there, he's getting animated, he's talking to us. And Blocky doesn't seem to care.
Butler was closing quick, made the hit. But it's going to be 1st and goal from the 6, and he needs 7. Clock is becoming an enemy. He's going to try to make it a friend if he can punch it in. Bunch to the left, there's motion. Mariota has time, got to get rid of it. And somehow throws it away, and that's why you get a Mariota. Wentz would have been dead to rights.
This is an interesting situation here, Scott. With 4-point ball game. Only 2:30 left in the 4th quarter.
You got Derrick Henry.
If you're Blocky, you got to consider being in
Why are you trying to pass
4-down territory here. And worst case scenario, you don't get it. You got Skimbo pinned back.
2nd and goal now. 2:30 to go.
This is big.
Cooks is solo to the left. Watch a high point in the back of the end zone.
With the focus of these players.
There it is, and he overthrew him.
That's great.
We've talked about
That's
it time and time again, RG. That's those fast receivers can't animate up and catch those passes.
Yeah, you got those little slow speedsters. They'll burn somebody. They'll make some good catches. But getting up for that ball is not their specialty. And Blocky showing some emotion up there. He wants this ball game. Perfect season on the line. 4-0. Going up against the #1 player all year long.
Mariota, low throw, and
dropped
he can't hold on.
Oh, Blocky's going through it over there.
Here we go, folks. Biggest play of the game. 4th and goal, and he's got to go for it. Here's that low throw again. Good defense.
There's traffic. I mean, anytime there's traffic like that, they can catch sometimes, but there's always that chance for a drop.
And that wasn't Julio Jones. That wasn't a Jerry Rice. I mean, these ratings matter. 4th and goal. Watch for the scramble. No!
Big feedback by Skim.
Johnson in there on the sack.
And it's the pressure once again. The Goons getting to the quarterback. Look at this. Goons, Grizzlies, putting their lives on the line. And Skim's amped.
I don't care. You can pick it. I could care less right here.
Wentz.
Try to come down. Try to come down. All right.
Good read.
Wide open is Ocho Cinco and Chad Johnson. Takes it to the 31. He's gone over 200 yards passing now. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 13-9. What a stand by Skim down there in the red zone. Two minutes to decide if Blocky can
for the gusto again.
Keep his undefeated season alive, or is Skim going to win 3 in a row?
Skim's over there screaming gusto.
No, you do.
Says he's going for the gusto.
You're
I
not
know what he
on the
means
middle
here.
line.
Looking
watch for him to go over the top.
Down. He's probably blocking. I'm going for the gusto. Means I'm running draw. Scum. That's scum, Scott.
Need to get down with Charles.
You asked me about scum. That's legal scum right there. Hey, Scott, I'm going for the gusto. Get ready. We're going deep. Halfback draw, first down.
Oh, he's pulled out all the tactics this season, especially when he went 0-2. Start the Ultimate League. He's come roaring back.
With the 2 timeouts, though, Blocky still has a chance to get himself this ball back. This isn't over yet. And you got to think Blocky's ready for this draw. Yep, here they go.
Plays. Charles. He loses 4 on that. Officially 3, 2nd and 13. 1:51 to go. Just 1 timeout remaining for Blocky.
Skim's going to go for this first down. Big.
And Wentz can't get away from the pressure as on the left side, Prodigy is now finding his way down in the red zone.
Let's go, man.
And it's a touchdown.
Drop the prod in, Carlum Dotrick. That was nasty.
And that extra point will make it tied over there on the left side of our screen with 1:34 to go.
Ball game's all over the place. 3rd and 15, Scott, for Skim.
I think you got to go with the air here. I know you'd like to see that clock run.
Oh, good pocket.
And he can't get it away, and now you're going to see Skim punt it away and play defense. And on the left side of your screen, there goes Spot Me. He's off to the races. He might lay down here. Is he going to take it in or lay down?
He's going to go in. Prod's got 3 timeouts. He has to go in. If there was no timeouts, he probably goes down there, kills the clock, kicks the field goal. With Prodigy having 3 timeouts, you need to score that touchdown out there, Spot. But what a way to respond.
Paul Warfield, the Hall of Famer, takes it all the way back for Spot Me, and he has a touchdown lead once again, and that's a backbreaker for Prodigy.
We've seen that from Warfield and Spot Me a couple times this season. You got to start taking note that he is dangerous on special teams.
So Prodigy will start his drive at the 34. Blocky's got it at the 28.
How about
a 4-point game?
How about this much action in the double box, huh?
They need.
It was all over the place.
They both need touchdowns. The throw, Cooks picks it off the turf at the 45, no timeouts, so the clock's on the move, 60 seconds to go.
Needs the touchdown. Field goal, no good at all.
Mariota. Off his back foot, Grant. Moves it forward past the 50 to the 47. Clock ticking away. 2nd and 2. Mariota. Looking, finding Walker. And Delaney gets out of bounds at the 38.
This is prolific right now by Blocky. He's moving the ball. Needs to pick it up to only 35 seconds left, 38 yards to go.
You're not going to miss any action, we promise you that.
Perfect season still on the line. Blocky at 4-0.
Mariota. Prodigy still on a drive over there. Walker takes it to the 33. Sticking right here, though. 25 seconds left. He cannot stop the clock unless he gets out of bounds. 2nd and 5.
Skim needs this win, too. A win like this puts Skim right back in the hunt to go and get that bye in the playoffs.
Throws it, and he will just throw it away. He was under pressure. That'll stop the clock with 13 ticks left in the game.
Blocky's going to need some sort of miracle here. This is going to be a hard 33 yards to get with only 13 seconds, no timeouts.
We'll get you an update with what's going on in the other game here soon. Stick with us here. This is an important 13 seconds for Blocky. He throws it to the end zone and nearly picked off. This could be the final play. Let's get a quick update.
Guys, real quick, Prodigy driving, trying to tie this ball game up in the last 30 seconds here. He's going to push the ball downfield. Spot me, please. Coming up with a huge interception. A much-needed victory, taking it home 24-17. Just ended officially over here.
You can see the emotion. What a hard-fought game, but Spot Me comes out with a victory. This is fourth in the game. This is the final play. Blocky, got to get to the end zone. Got to get out of bounds. Go.
What a play!
Gets out of bounds at the 22.
What a play by the Blocky. Skim can't believe it. Keeps the game alive. What a check down. Picked up the pressure, got out of bounds. And this is it, Scott.
Only 3 seconds. He needs 22 yards to get to the end zone. Mariota
picks up the blitz.
Gotta look. Gotta let it
rip.
He let it and rip. Picked up. Skimbo will hold on. Swimming in a pool of epicness. 2 incredible games. Skimbo able to get the victory over Blocky. 2 warriors just fighting. 13-9, Skimbo holds on. And Spot Me Please on the back of a long kick return somehow holds off Prodigy 24-17. Wow. Let's go to Adrian Lawrence, who's standing by with Skimbo.
Thanks, Scott. Yes, here with the winner who just knocked off the only undefeated player left in the Elite Conference. Skimbo, what do you have to say for yourself?
It's a grind out here. It's a grind on these streets, baby. You know, I got that W, and that's all that matters.
Absolutely. And now you're in a place where you can compete for the bye. What are you going to try to do in terms of to increase your potential and possibility of getting that?
I mean, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not. Honestly, it's one game at a time. Each game's the biggest game of my Madden career this year. I have to win every game. So one game at a time, you know, the old phrase.
All right, and this was kind of a low-scoring game. It seemed like there was a lot of friction in terms of defense. What'd you do?
It was low-scoring, but it kind of wasn't because he drove on me actually really easy. I haven't had anyone drive on me in the air like that in a long time, so I was actually really mad about my defense. But you know, you can bend, but you can't break. And so I didn't break in the red zone, held him to 3, got a turnover in the red zone, and that was just the story of the game, was the red zone.
That's right. Congratulations again. To you, Dave and Rico.